I should have known something was wrong when Vivian started complimenting my work. For 3 years at Davidson and Associates Marketing, I'd been the invisible workhorse. While others schmoozing at company happy hours, I stayed late perfecting campaign strategies and client presentations. My cubicle was tucked away in the corner, perfect for concentration, terrible for visibility. Vivian occupied the prime real estate cubicle right next to our boss Robert's office. She had that effortless charm that made clients laugh and executives remember her name. What she didn't have was talent. Her campaigns were mediocre at best, recycled ideas that barely moved the needle. "Kate, you're so brilliant with data analysis," she'd say, leaning over my cubicle wall with her perfectly white smile. "Could you help me understand these metrics for the Henderson account?" I was flattered. Finally, someone recognized my expertise. So I'd walk her through the analytics, explain the consumer behavior patterns, and suggest optimization strategies. Vivian would nod eagerly, taking notes, asking all the right follow-up questions. "You're a lifesaver," she'd gush. "I don't know what I'd do without you." The first time she presented her strategy to Robert and landed a major client win, I figured it was coincidence. Maybe she'd independently reached similar conclusions. The second time, I felt a knot in my stomach. By the third time, watching her get promoted to senior account manager while I remained stuck in my corner cubicle, I knew exactly what was happening. But I had no proof. Just a growing sense of betrayal and the sinking realization that my helpful nature had made me the perfect victim. The Henderson Electronics account was my masterpiece. I'd spent weeks analyzing their declining sales data, identifying a critical gap in their target demographic. Their marketing was missing millennials entirely, a generation worth $200 billion in annual purchasing power. I developed a comprehensive digital strategy, influencer partnerships, social media campaigns, and targeted mobile advertising that would revolutionize their brand presence. I documented everything meticulously. Market research, competitor analysis, projected ROI calculations. It was 47 pages of strategic brilliance that could transform Henderson from a struggling electronics retailer into a dominant market force. "This is incredible work," Vivian said, reviewing my proposal. "But you know how Robert is about presentations. He prefers that polished, executive summary style. Want me to help you format it for maximum impact?" My stomach lurched, but I handed over my files anyway. What choice did I have? I couldn't present to senior management. I was just a junior analyst. 2 days later, Robert called an all-hands meeting. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "I want to recognize exceptional work that's going to secure our biggest contract this year. Vivian's revolutionary Henderson electronic strategy has impressed their entire board. They're signing a 3-year, $2.8 million agreement." The room erupted in applause. Vivian stood gracefully, accepting congratulations with false modesty. It was challenging, but I'm proud of the innovative approach we've developed. I sat frozen, watching her describe my research, my insights, my strategies as if they were her own brilliant discoveries. She fielded questions about demographics I'd identified, explained ROI projections I'd calculated, outlined implementation phases I'd designed. Not once did she mention my name. After the meeting, she cornered me by the coffee machine. "Kate, thanks for your input on the Henderson project. Your data entry was really helpful." Data entry. 3 weeks of strategic analysis reduced to data entry. That night, I sat in my apartment staring at my computer screen, rage burning in my chest. I'd been played. Completely, thoroughly played. And the worst part? I'd helped her do it. Once you know what to look for, the signs are everywhere. I started paying attention. Really paying attention. Vivian's brilliant insights in Monday morning meetings were remarkably similar to conversations we'd had the previous week. Her client success stories featured strategies I'd recommended during our casual brainstorming sessions. I began documenting everything. Screenshots of our Slack conversations where I'd suggest solutions to her account challenges. Email timestamps proving I'd sent her my analysis before her presentations. Draft documents with my unique formatting quirks that somehow appeared in her final proposals. The Turner Automotive pitch was the breaking point. Their account was hemorrhaging money due to poor digital presence. I'd identified the problem. Their SEO strategy was stuck in 2015, their social media engagement was non-existent, and their website conversion rate was abysmal. I developed a complete digital transformation plan that would increase their online visibility by 340% within 6 months. Kate, you're amazing at this technical stuff, Vivian said, reviewing my work. But Turner's executives are old school. They need someone who speaks their language to present this. I watched her practice my presentation in the conference room, memorizing my talking points, rehearsing my recommendations. She even adopted my signature phrase, "Let's revolutionize your digital footprint." The Turner meeting was scheduled for Thursday morning. I had a choice, stay silent and watch her steal another victory, or finally fight back. But fighting back required proof. And proof required a plan. That's when I remembered something from my college computer science classes. Something that would change everything. Hidden text. It's an old trick from document formatting, white text on white background, invisible to the naked eye but embedded in every copy, paste, and share. I'd used it years ago to track document distribution in group projects, catching classmates who plagiarized my work. Now, it would be my secret weapon against Vivian. I opened my Turner proposal and began typing. Between every paragraph, I embedded invisible messages. This analysis was created by Kate Mitchell on March 15th. Original research conducted by Kate Mitchell, junior analyst. If you can read this, someone has stolen Kate Mitchell's work. The messages were everywhere, in headers, footers, between bullet points, nestled within data tables. Dozens of hidden signatures proving authorship. To anyone copying and pasting, it would be invisible. But change the text color to black, and my ownership would be undeniable. I saved the document and waited. "Kate, could you send me that Turner analysis?" Vivian asked casually. "I want to review it before the presentation." My heart hammered as I attached the file to her email. "Sure thing. Good luck tomorrow." She smiled that perfect smile. "Thanks. I'm confident this strategy will really impress them." My strategy. My work. My months of research and analysis, about to be stolen again. But this time, I was ready. I spent that evening preparing. Screenshots of my original research. Email timestamps proving when I'd completed each section. Most importantly, a clean version of my document with all the hidden text revealed in bright red text. Tomorrow, Vivian would present my work to Turner's executives and Robert. She'd take credit for my strategic insights, my market research, my innovative solutions. And then I'd spring my trap. The Turner presentation was scheduled for 10 a.m. in the main conference room. By 9:45, executives from both companies had gathered around the polished oak table. Robert sat at the head, beaming with pride at his star employee's upcoming performance. I slipped in quietly, taking a seat in the back corner. Just another junior analyst observing senior-level strategy. Vivian commanded the room effortlessly. Her presentation was flawless. My presentation was flawless. She walked through the market analysis I'd compiled, explained the digital transformation strategy I'd developed, outlined the implementation timeline I'd created. "Turner Automotive's current digital presence is, frankly, antiquated," she said with authoritative confidence. "But I've identified specific opportunities that will revolutionize your online footprint." There it was. My signature phrase, delivered with her trademark smile. Turner's CEO nodded approvingly. "This is exactly the innovative thinking we need. Your research is impressively thorough." "Thank you," Vivian replied smoothly. "I believe in comprehensive analysis before recommending strategic changes." My analysis. My strategies. My months of work, being praised as her innovative thinking. The presentation concluded to enthusiastic applause. Robert stood, shaking hands with Turner's executives, already planning the victory celebration. "Vivian, this is why you're our top performer," he announced. "Brilliant work as always." That's when I stood up. "Excuse me," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I have a question about the presentation." All eyes turned to me. Vivian's smile flickered for just a moment. "Kate," Robert said with mild annoyance, "this isn't really the time for." "I'm curious about the document formatting," I continued, walking toward the front. "Could you bring up the original file?" Vivian's eyes narrowed. "I'm not sure what you mean." "The Turner strategy document. Could you open it and change all text to black? There's something I think everyone should see." The room fell silent. Vivian's fingers hesitated over her laptop keyboard. Kate, what exactly are you suggesting? Robert's voice carried a warning. I pulled out my phone, displaying screenshots of my original research. I'm suggesting that if Vivian changes the text color on that document, we'll discover some very interesting hidden information. Turner's CEO leaned forward, intrigued. Hidden information? Text that's currently invisible because it's white on white background, I explained calmly. A technique used to prove document ownership. Vivian's face had gone pale. This is ridiculous. I don't know what Kate is implying, but... Then you won't mind changing the text color, I interrupted. It'll only take a second. The tension in the room was suffocating. Robert looked between us, confusion and suspicion warring on his face. Turner's executives watched with the fascination of people witnessing a corporate car crash. Go ahead, Vivian, Robert said slowly. Change the text color. With trembling hands, she selected all text and changed the color to black. The document transformed. Between every paragraph, my hidden messages appeared in stark clarity. This analysis was created by Kate Mitchell on March 15th. Original research conducted by Kate Mitchell, junior analyst. If you can read this, someone has stolen Kate Mitchell's work. Dozens of embedded signatures. Irrefutable proof of authorship scattered throughout the entire document. The silence stretched endlessly. Turner's CEO broke it first. Ms. Mitchell, did you create this analysis? Every word, I replied, holding up my phone with time-stamped screenshots. I have the original research files, email records, and draft versions dating back 6 weeks. Robert's face cycled through confusion, realization, and fury. Vivian, what the hell is this? But Vivian had no answer. She sat frozen, staring at the screen where my name appeared dozens of times, embedded in the work she just presented as her own. I can explain, she stammered. Please do, Turner's CEO said icily. Because right now, it appears your company just tried to defraud us with stolen intellectual property. That's when everything exploded. What happened next was better than any revenge fantasy I'd ever imagined. Robert's face turned purple with rage. Vivian, you've been stealing Kate's work? For how long? It wasn't stealing, she protested weakly. We collaborated. I just formatted it better. I pulled up my documentation. Months of evidence. Screenshots of Slack conversations where I'd provided solutions. Email threads where I'd sent complete analyses that later appeared in her presentations. Draft documents proving my authorship of strategies she'd claimed credit for. The Henderson campaign, I said quietly. The Morrison rebrand. The Philips social media strategy. All my work. All presented by Vivian. Turner's CEO stood abruptly. Gentlemen, we'll be taking our business elsewhere. We don't work with companies that engage in internal plagiarism and deception. $2.8 million walked out the door. Robert turned to Vivian with barely controlled fury. Pack your things. Security will escort you out. We'll discuss your final paycheck with legal. But the story doesn't end there. Word spread through the office within hours. The brilliant strategist who'd been everyone's golden girl was revealed as a fraud. Colleagues who'd admired her success now viewed her with disgust. Clients she'd impressed with stolen ideas questioned every proposal she'd ever presented. 2 days later, Robert called me into his office. Kate, I owe you an apology. And a promotion. Senior Strategic Analyst, effective immediately. 30% salary increase, corner office, and I want you leading the team to win back Turner's contract. 6 months later, I presented my authentic Turner strategy, enhanced and improved, to their board. We secured a $4.2 million agreement, the largest in company history. I kept Vivian's old corner office but redecorated it completely. The walls now display my certifications, my awards, and a framed printout of that hidden text document. Sometimes I wonder if Vivian learned her lesson. Then I remember I don't care. She thought she could build her career on my stolen work. Instead, she destroyed it with the very document that proved her deception. The perfect trap, perfectly executed. And the best part? Every time someone tries to copy my work now, those hidden signatures are there, waiting. Because once you've learned to protect yourself from thieves, you never stop being prepared. Trust me, it's the most satisfying feeling in the world.